Welcome to a new vlog. You can probably hear Dexter sneezing in the background. They do this thing where when they're excited, they sneeze a lot, they charge around a lot, and they just make really crazy noises. Dexy and Dicky are very excited because we're heading out as a family today. We're doing a little bit of a very mini road trip. Can't take the boys too far because Dexter gets a little bit road sick, but we thought that we would take them up to the Woodstock Farmers Market, which is on, I think, the 1st and 3rd Saturday of every month. It's a really, really nice farmers market. Not just fruit and vegetables, but there's lots of local brands that sell their goodies there as well. It's a beautiful morning, perfect blue skies, and Charlie and I were saying yesterday was the end of the last vlog where we explored Temple 𝑞𝒉ting Power, the Cotswold Farm Park with the pumpkins. We were saying that we need to act like tourists in our own home area a lot more because we had so much fun yesterday. So we thought we would kind of do another little exploration today. We don't live too far from Woodstock, but it's not somewhere that we go that often. It is the town nearest to Blenheim Palace. We're not going to go into Blenheim today because I think we are going to head over to Estelle Manor for lunch after the farmers market, and luckily for us it is dog friendly there in most places, so we thought we'd get there, have a nice lunch, and then take the boys for a walk around the beautiful grounds, and then the plan is to head home and do some gardening this afternoon. So it's going to be a really, really nice day. I've popped on, this is actually a new cashmere roll neck from M&S. Their cashmere is just the best value in my opinion. It's quite a nice thin one, so great at this time of year. Dexy, my favourite gilet that I've been wearing non-stop at the moment, brown jeans, and then I've got my very practical boots on. Are we going to be well behaved today? Probably not. We're probably going to be terrors. They are wearing their tweed harnesses because they are smarty pants. Okay boys, let's hit the road. Look at this, perfect blue skies. What a gorgeous day. Our ornamental pear trees are yet to change colour, but the signs are there. They're just starting to go a little bit ambery on the tips of the leaves. And the herbaceous border over here, Dicky, is looking quite autumnal as the hydrangeas start to go brown and crispy. The anemones are still going strong, my absolute favourites at this time of year. And in late summer, the herbaceous blooms starting to die back until next year. Made it to Woodstock with the boys. Oh gosh, that is adorable. It's kind of like a solid bronze postbox. That's really cool. The boys so far are being well behaved, but let's see. Okay, well behaved by their standards. This is the start of the little farmers market here. Let's go and take a look. The square here is so adorable. Char, where is it that we stayed that time? Was it this one?
We stayed there. That's one of the most haunted hotels in the UK.
Ooh.
And do you know what? I really enjoyed it staying there. We stayed with the dogs.
Yeah, we did. We've been here before. We know what we're doing.
Do you come here regularly?
This is my first
time wow.
Yeah.
And it's just amazing.
Yeah, I mean, it's such a lovely town.
Oh, isn't it?
So many sweet little independent stores here. Woodstock grocers. I love an old-fashioned greengrocers like this. We used to get all our veg from little greengrocers in our hometown of Ros-on-Wye. Yeah, let's have a look in here. Okie dokie. I'll wait outside with the pterodactyls. Ah! It's such a beautiful blue sky day today, so we're going to make the most of it, take the boys for a nice long walk after we've had some lunch. Got so many layers on, keeping nice and toasty warm, but it feels like the seasons are really changing. The leaves are turning golden brown, there's definitely a chill in the air, so it's a perfect day to head out and explore the Cotswolds. Saying to Charlie how nice it is that everything still has different, like, original signage, more independent shops than you see on a typical high street. Just spotted this sign, if anyone is in Woodstock and needs a spot of lunch, Back Lane Tavern has epic food. So it's kind of tapas style food. Sounds absolutely delicious. Pork belly, truffled 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 𝑴𝒆, Vietnamese rolls. Nice. We're just strolling through the back lanes and we found this little plaque, the Bishop's House, built by Dr. 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, Bishop of Oxford in 1686. So at the end of the high street, this is one of the entrances to Blenheim Palace. I'm sure it used to be just kind of freely open, but it does say this is a ticketed entrance. It's really such a sweet little high street. It does actually remind me a bit of Woodstock in the US as well, a little bit New England style. So this house was remodelled in 1795 to 1800, but the town clerk of Woodstock has occupied this land since 1279. My goodness. Well, that was a cute little pit stop. The farmer's market is actually teeny tiny. There's probably maximum 10 or 12 stalls there. We picked up some lovely homemade fudge. There was a nice little bakery, a butcher's. I think, to be honest, it's just a day when local people and some of the local shops here sell their products on the market square, which is really sweet. But definitely worth popping by if you're heading to Blenheim or any of the other places near here, because it is just such a cute little high street with so much history, and definitely explore all the back lanes. We would have just trotted the boys into the grounds of Blenheim Palace. It was open, you used to be able to just walk in. Definitely when we came and stayed here the Christmas before we moved to the Cotswolds. I swear that was the first year you did the advent calendar.
It's £28 now.
£28.
To go just in the park and gardens, which I have to be honest, is excessive.
That's
a bit crazy.
Yeah.
But,
so we'll take the little boys for a walk around Estelle, but I think we need to grab a coffee there first.
Let's do it. Right, we're
Let's
off.
go. We've come straight into the kitchen garden. Charlie's analysing the trees. This one's not looking too healthy. But our mulberry tree didn't do too well in our garden either. Let's see what Dexy thinks of the flowers. Somehow missed this the other day. They've got a giant yellow pumpkin in here. My goodness. He's doing very well. And then there's lots of the little mini gourds in here too. Looking very cute.
Cabbage that's been left to go over.
This is Brussels sprouts growing. So if you have a little close-up look on the stems of the plant, you can see Christmas Brussels sprouts just starting to grow. Very exciting. I'm a big fan of sprouts actually. Full of healthy nourishment. Their rainbow chard is looking ultra juicy. I'm very jealous of their purple kale because mine didn't do anything this year. Such a shame because last year it was incredible. They've got the 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 𝙄'𝙢 doing really well. And the red Russian kale is doing well as well. This is the dream menu in the glass house. We're going to have some vegetable crudités, and then this is one of my favourite things in the world, saffron risotto. I also love the sound of this. Pumpkin and a pumpkin flatbread, my goodness. Yeah, I think you should try the ox tongue croquettes.
Yeah.
It's also a beef short rib, but that is rather pricey.
Yeah. Well, no, it's more of a main dish, isn't it?
Yeah.
Love
Cracked potatoes. They sell them in the shop here.
Oh yeah, they've got a really nice website actually.
Yeah.
We're redoing our website, aren't we? And we've taken great inspiration from their website.
We sure have. Starting off with some veg crudité. Yum. Are there any carrots?
Makes sense.
Oh yes. Right in the
Dicky?
cucumber from the crudités. Oh, we love cucumber. So I've got a celeriac beignet to start with.
Basically, celeriac Krispy Kreme.
Yeah, she described it as a donut, so I was sold straight away. We've got
it's well suited to you, isn't it?
Because I'm a donut.
Because you're a bit of a donut.
Ha ha ha! What have you got then? Healthy chops.
Tuna ceviche.
Nice.
No, tuna tartare. Sorry.
Tuna tartare. I'm intrigued by this. Got parmesan on top. We've got some funky mushrooms. Dehydrated apple. Very cool. I'm gonna tuck in. Everything just arrives as it's ready. So we've just had ox tongue croquettes on a bed of, that kind of looks like celeriac as well. And we've got some microgreens. My guess is that these would be beetroot microgreens, my favourite. And the main event has just arrived. I've got a saffron risotto, which is one of my favourite dishes of all time. We had Actually, it wasn't saffron risotto at our wedding, was it? It was kitchen garden. But my goodness, we had saffron risotto at Rory and Nathan's wedding. It was heavenly. This is really cool if you come here with children. They've got these mini Defenders. I think they're battery powered. That is definitely the best way to get around. Oh, it's adorable. It's not crazy busy here. We were just saying how it's so lovely that nearly every single room is dog friendly, so the boys absolutely love it. The fires are all lit. It's just like being in a beautiful old grandfather's sitting room. Just waiting for Daddy to come back from the bathroom, then we'll grab some sweeties and hit the road. Well, it's safe to say that Dexy is a fan of Estelle Manor. It is incredibly dog friendly here. He's been pampered by all of the members of staff. Let Mummy help you jump down. Mummy help you. There we go. Okay, my darlings, we are back home again, and I've got a sudden rush of energy because I have been snuffling these little pick and mix that they have at Estelle on the way home. They have the best little lemon bonbons. I never would have chosen a lemon bonbon if there had been other flavors available, but I have overlooked the lemon bonbons before. These are absolutely delicious, but I won't be able to talk to you if I eat this at this very second, so I'll wait a moment. It is that time of year that, to brought you down a little bit, it is that time of year that you basically have to wear a hard hat underneath our walnut tree, because every 10 seconds you hear a thud on the ground, and it is one of these ginormous items falling from the tree. And if you've been around for a little while, you might remember Walnut Gate, which was, I think, 2021. Yeah, I think it was 2021. When we first really realised that the walnuts from the walnut trees in our gardens we could eat, which I know sounds really silly because obviously you can eat them, but I think the first year there was just so much going on in our minds here, there was so much to discover that we didn't really think about it. But yeah, the trees in our garden, we have 3 in our garden and 1 along the driveway, so at this time of year it's really worth collecting as many walnuts as possible. We do have to battle with what feels like an entire nation of squirrels that live in our garden. If you remember the squirrel twerking, he was up on the conifer hedge burying walnuts in the hedge. They bury them all over the garden, but luckily there are plenty to go around. And I love walnuts. They're so good for you. They look like little gnarly brains, and that is a little indicator they're actually really good for your brain health. So I like to cook as many things as possible, whether it's a carrot and walnut cake or a coffee and walnut cake, or, I mean, leave your favourite walnut recipes down below. But something that I noticed that we have run out of that I love to have in the evenings with some yogurt is granola. And granola is one of those things that if you buy it in a shop, it's often really, really lovely and tasty, but it's often full of some really crazy ingredients that I would just rather avoid. And it's so easy to make it yourself, and obviously you can tailor it to whatever flavour you want. I love at this time of year really hearty, warming flavours like spiced maple chai. I think that's what I'm going to do today. And you can't really mess up a granola recipe, so I'm going to do a maple chai granola with these walnuts at the heart of the recipe. I'm going to add in a mixture of seeds, from chia seeds to pumpkin seeds. I'm going to add in almonds, hazelnuts, Brazil nuts. I might smash up the Brazil nuts and the almonds a little bit because they're a bit bigger. And yeah, mix it all together. So I'll show you how I'm going to do that. And then in the evenings, maybe with a little bit of homemade berry compote. It is just so, so delicious. But first of all, this is just like a minuscule. This was just what I grabbed after getting out the car. So let's go and grab a bigger trug from the greenhouse, put some gloves on, that is a crucial step, and go and collect a few more walnuts. excited and ended up collecting all of these. Can you even see them? There we go. These beautiful dahlias. They're just such gorgeous colours. I'm really glad that I planted a few more kind of corally pinks like this one here, because they're just so lovely at this time of year. The final blooms from the garden, and I think what I might do is pop these on a flower frog, because I don't have quite as much to create a display out of. A flower frog is quite good at making a big impression with a small amount of blooms, and it's really quick to put together. Okay, I'm getting dazzled a little bit here by the sun, but I'll show you what I'm going to do. You could either do it in a jar like this, or something a little bit different, something a bit wider like this one here. I think I'm going to try it in this one to begin with. This is my little flower frog. Now they're quite weighty. Oh, this is a new one. I do have a bigger one somewhere, which I might run and get from the greenhouse. But they're essentially these little skewers, and you press your bloom into the frog, and your bloom will stay exactly where you put it. So when it's in a display, it's really effective because you can create all different kind of shapes. In fact, let's just see how it would work if we were to just use this little one. Some stems might be a bit too long. Well, it's very much not my finest flower display at all, but a great way of using up some of the remaining dahlias to add a little bit of colour and excitement into the kitchen. Oh my goodness, I'm out of breath from carrying and collecting these walnuts. You're nuts, mate! This is literally not even a fraction of the amount of walnuts that we've got here in the garden. So you can see various states of walnut openness. So obviously this is what you often see in shops when they're like this, but they fall off the tree sometimes like this, sometimes they crack open. This is one that's started to disintegrate, and oh my goodness, it's never ending. So many walnuts. Yeah, this one the squirrel has already got to, but I'm going to try and open up a few of these, see what state they're in. There was one that was open. Let's see. The squirrel's got to that one as well. Yeah, so I'm going to have a little sort through these with my gloves on, and then hopefully we should have plenty to make a delicious granola. Okay, so at this time of year my little Victorian greenhouse turns into a walnut drying out station. These, I would say at current temperatures, are probably going to need about a week to dry out, so I've tried to lay them all out as flat as possible, and the ones which just would not come out of the husks, I've put them up on the side here. This is probably going to be something I'll have to do every few days because we've just got so many, but it'll be worth it because walnuts are bloomin' expensive, and you guys know how much I just love making the most of anything that we've grown or sourced here at the house. So I'm going to make this squirrel proof by bolting up the door, and I guess I'll just come and give them a shake every couple of days, check if they're drying out nicely after I've given them a really good rinse, and hopefully in a few days time I'll be able to crack some lovely homegrown walnuts. Okay, my darlings, heading in for a little bit of quick makeup off and pampering now that the walnuts are sorted. I'm going to do a little peel this evening because it's weekend pamper time, and I like to do this for my skin about once a week, especially because getting a peel in a clinic or a salon is a really pricey treatment, but boy oh boy do you notice such an incredible difference to your skin. I think at this time of year as well, it's really important that we just help our skin with the renewal process, and I have found the perfect product for it. So this is from a brand called 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒂𝒕, and you might have heard me talking about this brand before because I use their, grab it from my cabinet, I really like their neck and décolleté. A lot of you told me off for saying décollé last time. Décolleté. I just read it completely wrong. Their neck and décolleté cream is something that I've been using on this whole area lately, and I've been really loving it. The brand was actually founded by an OG influencer, Tina Chen Craig, and she wanted to streamline, I mean, the amount of products that we use and we try is quite insane, and she wanted to really streamline it down to just a few things that work really well. Appeal is fantastic if you want to help your skin look smoother, look firmer. If you feel that you want to help with pore size visibility, then Appeal is an amazing option. I like to leave this on 5 to 10 minutes. Often it's something that I'll do before getting in the shower, about once a week, because this is clinical grade. It's very, very strong indeed, and I thought we could do it together. I have got a 20% discount code for this, which I'll leave on the screen, and I'm going to leave a link in the description box down below as well. So I'll show you a little close-up first of the consistency on my hand. It's a really lightweight kind of gel consistency. If you've ever had a professional peel in a salon, you'll know this is what they look like, and you'll know that it's incredibly satisfying because you can really feel them working, because they do have a slight, I don't want to say sting, but you can almost like feel the ingredients within this really working to get rid of those dead skin cells on the top layer of your skin, which is what makes your skin look dull. So you can almost feel them getting nibbled away by the ingredients. But what makes this a unique product is that it also has ingredients which help to nourish the skin afterwards, because so many times when you have a really strong peel, sometimes your skin can go into a state of shock and feel a little bit aggravated afterwards, but this has got really lovely nourishing ingredients alongside the ingredients that are going to give you that peel. So they've thought about everything. So I'm going to take off my makeup, pop this on for, I'm going to go full whack, I'm going to go 10 minutes, I'm all about the glow, and I'll show you how great my skin is going to look afterwards. And you'll see tomorrow as well, if you're having one of those days or weeks or months when you feel like your makeup is not sitting really nicely on your skin and you just want to bring that glow back and have a really pristine base, then using a peel like this can help you to really get those results. I can feel this on the back of my hands, so I'm going to wash my hands, take off my makeup, and then we will peel together. While I take off my makeup, I like to watch YouTube videos, and I'm watching videos of different people's methods for processing walnuts. It's really interesting to see how other people do it. And this guy says, this is the last black walnut processing video you'll ever need to watch. So let's see what his tips are. Okay, I'm looking a little bit bluer because it's getting so dark outside. I just had a notification from my Ring and I thought it was going to tell me that it's bedtime, but no, it was luckily just telling me that my ideal sleep time tonight, based on last night's sleep time and today's activity, is between 9:20 and 9:50, and tonight my recommended amount of sleep is 8.5 hours. That sounds like a lot, but it's also detected a possible activity today, 2:10 to 2:30. That would have been our after lunch stroll. Yes, okay, outdoor walking. There we go. It's very clever at detecting your workouts because I forget to put them in, but now I can see, ooh, I was in a zone 1 workout. We must have been power walking. I love this so much. I highly, highly recommend these rings. Anyway, I digress. Let's give myself a clinic-worthy facial at home in as little as 5 minutes with the resurfacing flash peel from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅. This is what it looks like. So I've got cleansed skin. I've done nothing to my skin other than cleansing it. It's dry, and I'm going to apply this to my face and neck, just using my hands. If you're feeling really fancy, or if you were a facialist doing it to a friend or something, then you could use a little fancy paintbrush. Oh my gosh, I can already feel it tingling. That is so satisfying. I love to feel my skincare working. So satisfying because I know that the tingling means that dull skin is a thing of the past. Okay, one more pump. And for me, I find that this product is a happy medium between actually getting visible results, because some of the at-home ones, yes, they tingle, but they don't really do anything. You don't really see the results, and it's not so strong and crazy that you need loads of downtime afterwards. So there we go, that is on. I'll see you in 5 minutes. Okay, it's about 8 minutes later. It feels almost dry to the touch now, but it's not like, when I say it's a peel, it's not a mask that you can peel off. Do you remember those from when you were a teenager? I used to absolutely love those. And it always used to feel as though you were pulling the gunk out of your out of your pores, but I don't think that's what was actually happening, surely. Anyway, so yeah, it just feels kind of tacky on the skin. That little tingle that I felt at the beginning, I don't feel it anymore, so I think it's worked its magic. So I'm going to use a flannel and some warm water to take it off. That's so funny, this happened last time I used this as well. I was thinking, oh, it's not all off my face yet, because I still look as though I've got something shiny on my face. So I was going in again with the flannel, but then I was like, oh, that's just my skin. My skin is just super glowy looking after this. So finish off with your favourite moisturiser. I'm using the Super Hydrator, also from 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅, a few pumps of that. Your skin will be very happy to have a lovely layer of hydration. That is my car alarm going off. I think sometimes if a walnut lands on my car, yeah, it sets the alarm off. There we go. As you can see, my skin looks just so glowy, and this is even when it's pitch black outside, so I can't wait to also show you how great my skin looks in the morning. But how easy is that? 5 minutes, a clinical grade peel without the downtime, in the comfort of your own home. So I'll leave this link down below. Hopefully you guys will check it out. I'm going to finish also with a little bit of my favourite neck and décolleté cream. It's an area that we mustn't forget about. And they also have a plasma lip compound, which has got this really wonderful little applicator. I always like to apply a nice lip balm after a peel. So there we go, that is my Saturday evening pamper. I can't get over how glowy my skin looks. I'm going to leave a QR code on the screen here, which will make it even easier for you if you would like to shop with my discount code and achieve this level of glow. I can't quite believe how amazing my skin looks. It's the glazed donut look, which I love. So apparently Charlie's got pies in the oven. I need to go and sort my car alarm out, and we need to finish off our granola. Here we are, a scrumptious, very easy Saturday night dinner. We've got Piper's Farm pies. They are something I would so highly recommend. They do so many different flavours. We've got the spiced butternut, squash, spinach and feta, as well as steak and ale. They also do, is it game, pheasant, venison?
Yeah, I mean they do, so Piper's Farm, if people have heard us talk about it before, are essentially an online organic butchers.
Yeah.
Everything arrives frozen, so it's super fresh, but it's particularly, obviously living where we live, it's super convenient having lots of these in the freezer, sorry, for when, like nights, it's like we haven't planned this meal at all, so it's great. Yeah, our favourite is, I think it's chicken, bacon and leek.
Yeah.
They normally come in a set of 2 or a set of 4. Yeah. You can order a mixed box. This one's a steak and ale. We've got venison and pork in the freezer, which you're not as sold on venison, but I think we should try it. I love venison. But these ones are a bit more classic. Well, butternut, squash and spinach is better.
They're just so delicious. You're having fun there?
Well, it's sometimes tricky to get them out. This one.
Yeah, these are very nice. And we like to do a nice mustard mash to go alongside it. We've got some peas bubbling away. Are you doing cavolo nero or just peas?
No, do you know what? I've seen a recipe online for a really, really epic cavolo nero pasta.
Oh, yeah.
Tomorrow's Sunday, but it's just the 2 of us doing a full day of gardening. And if we're out in the garden, I'm not going to have time to do a roast. And I think we're going to have a big roast the following weekend. So I thought we'd do that pasta tomorrow, hence saving the cavolo nero.
Very nice. Okay, can't wait to tuck in. I think, by the way, we still have a discount code for Piper's Farm, so I'll leave that linked down below. Good morning, my darlings. It's now Sunday morning. I'm dressed in the coziest outfit of all time. We are heading to the farm shop shortly to get some ingredients for today's food, but I'm going to do a nice dippy eggs to start with. By some miracle, we still have some of the delicious pumpkin, cumin, and what else was in here? Well, it's like a seeded sourdough, pumpkin, cumin, and chili, I think. I mean, look at that. Little bits of pumpkin within the bread. Maybe you can get this on Ocado if you don't live near a Daylesford farm shop, but I'm sure they'll have it in the London shops too. So yeah, gonna do a really quick breakfast. In the name of speed, can I pour direct water from my water filter into a saucepan? I don't see why not. Please excuse the noise of my tumble dryer. My water drop water filter is literally my best friend. Literally my best friend. I use this many, many, many times a day. Oops. Little splash-orama. Fill it up at the back. Saucepan. Let's make it hot. turn off the child lock. There we go. So this tells me how many mils I'm going to get and what degrees the water is, and it's filtered with reverse osmosis. This is now my favourite contraption in the kitchen, and I'm so glad to finally have a good water filter. In case you missed it in the last vlog, when I mentioned this, I'm going to leave it linked down below because they also gave me an epic discount. Okay, we're about to head out to Daylesford to grab the ingredients that we need, and now is my toughest choice of the day. Which pair of boots to wear? This is absolutely ridiculous. Okay, we have got quite the haul here from the farm shop. We've got a few things just to stock up the fridge with. We absolutely love these little curries that you can get. Great for those days when you can't be bothered to cook. They are so delicious, and lots of nice ingredients. Got some button mushrooms for my stew, some berries, chilies, stocking up on the fridge essentials like cranberry sauce, this one is scrumptious, Dijon mustard, bread, milk. So I just asked the butcher what he recommended. I said I wanted to do a nice slow cooked beef stew, and same as last week, different butcher, but same as last week, the butcher has given me brisket. He's actually cut it up into little chunks for me, so I'm going to get started on that shortly. But for lunch, I'm going to do a butternut squash and gorgonzola soup. Again, this is something that I've seen on Instagram. I've done butternut squash soup in the past, but I've never thought to add gorgonzola to it. I don't think I have anyway. So that's going to be a scrumptious lunch that I will crack on with in a second. We literally stocked up on all of our condiments. We've got red currant jelly, which is my personal favourite. I have it with everything. Another cranberry sauce, horseradish, and for the stew later I'm going to do horseradish dumplings, horseradish and herb dumplings, and another mustard because we get through a lot in this house. And then veggie wise, we got a load of colourful carrots. I always think with veggies, the more colour you can squeeze in, the better. I need to call a plumber because I got a leak. And some celery, which is not only great in the stew that I'm going to make, but also the tops are fantastic for adding into my veggie broth. A few more of the Daylesford ready meals because we literally just love having them in the freezer and the fridge for the times we can't bother to cook. And unlike literally all the supermarket ones, there are precisely 0 weird ingredients in these ones. And you can freeze them whenever they're on special offer. We always stock up. So Charlie's got the fisherman pie for him and a sweet potato lentil pie for me because I don't like fish. So quite a big haul here, but this is our Daylesford weekly farmers market shop. Now it's time to get cooking. Spot the squirrel. I wonder if he's been planting walnuts in my raised beds. I would not be surprised. I'm going to come back for some carrots shortly to put in my stew, but I'm actually just down here to grab some, some thyme, lovely thyme, and a few little sage leaves. And I've also come out to the back to grab a pear from our pear tree. We had to cut most of them off this year. Oh, you're going to come off? There we go. Because it's still rooting, so we don't want it to put too much energy into creating fruit. But next year we'll have a lot more pears. But for today, this one's going in my soup. So here we have got my halved butternut squash, pear chopped in half as well. The butternut squash has been hollowed out. Of course, I'm saving the seeds for a little bit of garnish. We've got onion, garlic, sage leaves, thyme, salt and pepper, and olive oil. I think I'm going to add just a touch more olive oil, especially onto these last little bits that I've added, and a dash more salt as well. And I'm going to roast this for about 45 minutes to really bring out those lovely seasonal flavours. Okay, my butternut squash and the extras are all roasting. Yes, I got changed, needed something a little bit warmer. So now to start the stew, and when I last did my slow cook recipe, it was so delicious. Definitely cooking over a longer period of time just brings out all the flavour, but so many of you commented saying, Josie, you've got an Arga, why are you using a slow cooker? And it was a bit of a light bulb moment, so thank you. So today I'm going to do this in the Arga, in the bottom left, I think is the, what do we call it? What do you call this, the colder one, Chuck? Simmering oven. We're going to do it in the simmering oven. So I'm adding my beef into a bowl, and I'm going to cover it in some plain flour and a hefty amount of salt and pepper. I'm going to mix this all up. Now I'm going to be doing my stew in this today, which is my chunkiest 𝑭𝒊𝒏𝒅 casserole dish. What I'm going to start with is by sealing off the beef. So I'm going to do some olive oil hot in the bottom of here and do the beef bit by bit so they really start to ever so slightly brown on the bottom of this, and that'll just help to really seal in the flavour before we do the main part of the stew. Okay, while that starts to cook, I'm going to do my vegetables. So I'm going to add some leek, some carrots, some celery, of course onion and garlic, and later on in the cooking process I'll add a couple of mushrooms as well. I've got two bowls here. This is the bowl of the chopped up veg that's going to go in the casserole, and then this is going to be my veggie scraps, which of course I will, at the end of all of this, probably have enough to do a veggie broth, which we can store for the next soup recipe. So I'm going to start by cutting my veggies into small chunks, and the little bits like this, that is not going to waste, so that's going in my bowl for my veggie broth. Okay, the beef is looking nice and brown, like so. So I'm actually going to remove this and just put the beef on a plate for a few moments while I start off the veggies in here. I'm following a James Martin recipe, which looks absolutely delicious. So the veggies in here are simmering away. I'm just going to leave them here for about 10 minutes just to release some of the lovely flavour. And meanwhile, I'm just adding all of the veggie scraps. I'm going to see if I can fit them all into one of these large stasher bags, and this will go in the freezer until I am ready to make a broth. That would otherwise have all gone in the bin, and that is just going to add so much flavour and goodness to my next soup recipe. There we go, ready to be frozen. Okie dokie, this has had about 10 minutes and everything is smelling amazing. So I'm going to add my beef back in, and I'm going to add about 150 ml of red wine. Okay, the red wine has simmered off for a few minutes, and now I'm going to add 500 ml of my bone broth. I'm going to bring this over to the hot plate so it can come up to a simmer, and then as soon as it does, I'm going to pop it in the simmering oven for a couple of hours, and that is our casserole well on the way. It is smelling absolutely incredible. here is our finished butternut squash and gorgonzola soup. We've got the butternut squash seeds toasted on the top here along with some of my lovely croutons. I just popped a little bit of the coconut cream on top as a drizzle with some, oh, nearly forgot, drizzle of olive oil just to finish, along with some pepper and a little chunk of gorgonzola to make it extra delightful. And there we go, time to enjoy. Hello again, my darlings. It's now nearly 6:30. Many hours later, the stew has been stewing away, and as you'll have just seen, I've just done the dumplings. It's been a very relaxed Sunday. Charlie has been very busy out in the garden doing lots of chores, and I feel like I've been in the kitchen all day, but taking it all very leisurely, so I don't really mind. I've just been out to the store, which is where we keep everything. Christmas decorations, seasonal things, luggage, all that kind of stuff. And I realised I have not yet opened up my box of autumn / mostly pumpkin related house decor bits. And I don't really like to have pumpkins in the house other than in October. I like to have seasonal decor like autumn bits from mid-September, as you'll have seen. But pumpkins for me, they're very much an October thing. And it's so crazy because summer doesn't feel like that long ago, the very little summer that we had. But then you have, suddenly autumn is squeezed into such a small amount of time, because I feel like as soon as November hits, which by the time you guys are watching this video is probably only a couple of weeks away, because I think you're about, yes, I think you're about 5 or 6 days ahead of me filming. And then it's Christmas. It's like summer, autumn, Halloween, then Christmas. It's crazy. But anyway, let me show you some of the lovely bits in here, because some of these are really, really nice. Anything that's still purchasable, I'll leave linked down below, or I'll try and find the most similar thing available. I've seen that they've brought these out again in Daylesford, and it's the really beautiful white ceramic pumpkins. I think these are really tasteful little items. And I just absolutely love them. Not sure where I'm going to put them this year, but I'll leave them out and we can figure that out in a moment. I've also got a few of these nice little velvet pumpkins. You can get loads of things like this with real mixed quality. I think I got these from a garden centre, and they are in really nice colours. This one is kind of an apple green with a gold little top. They look really nice, and I know that I've got a few of those. Maybe I actually got these on Amazon. Sorry about the lighting, it's really dark outside. So I've got this kind of goldy champagne one, and then these even smarter ones I'm sure were from Mrs. Alice. Did I not do a Mrs. Alice haul after Halloween last year of things that I got in the sale? Because this one is more like a spongy kind of consistency. And then I've got a Mrs. Alice one in white as well. It's like a surprise every year when I unbox this, because I can never remember what I've got. This feels fragile. This is one of my little ramekins. This would be great for serving a pumpkin mac and cheese. Is it too soon to do another one? Probably, but I'm sure in the next week or so I'll be making another. And then we've got another of the little white pumpkins. We've got my giant pumpkin casserole dish. I'm pretty sure I got this from Next. I'm sure that's where it was from. Oh my gosh, the pumpkin is full of other pumpkins. We've got a little mini orange one, probably from Mrs. Alice. Oh, mini green one, also Mrs. Alice. This is an Amazon one in orange. My goodness me. Another little mini dark, see, it's quite a nice colour, like a rusty orange. What else do we have? Mini champagne one. This feels fragile. Oh, it's another casserole dish. Yeah, these would be seriously nice for, or a little souffle if you're doing a dinner party. And here's the base of the big casserole dish. I probably could have made what I made today in this, or, you know, if I was hosting a dinner party, I could serve a casserole in this. It's really beautiful with the gold lids. I remember being really chuffed when I found this last year, but I can't be bothered with the extra washing up today, so we'll leave it. I've got a cookie press in an apple shape. That's quite fun. Can you see that? I've also got, oh my gosh, there are literally so many pumpkins in here, it's actually a little bit ridiculous. Another one, another one. That one's nice. I like the dark kind of mossy green. I'm gonna have to stack them up. Oh my gosh. Red, orange. A pumpkin shaped cookie press. This would be really nice to do a pie with. I've got some icing squeezer outerers. Don't know what the official name for those are. Icing nozzle maybe. A final pumpkin. An acorn shaped cookie press. And then some generic cookie presses. This is not all. I actually have one more box, which I'll just very quickly show you what's inside. And then I need to prepare my beans for our dinner. Okay, there's no point in bringing the entire box up here. It's basically full of these pumpkins, which again, maybe Mrs. Alice, maybe a garden centre, but they're really nice how they're like a rattan kind of string. So we have got a really nice collection of quite tasteful Halloween / autumn decor. I'm not going to go too crazy. We've got loads of really beautiful real pumpkins in the house this year, but I'll definitely put my ceramic one out, these ones, and a few of the others. So yeah, a really nice stash from previous years. Don't know where my green pumpkin mug is. Sometimes things accidentally find their way to the charity shop. So we'll keep a lookout for that. But for now, let's figure out where we're going to put these and finish off making the dinner. I think it's going to be so tasty with those dumplings. I cannot wait.